Hey, this is BT with the BT GP report for the last race of the year, the championship final in Valencia. And let's be honest here, we went in. I think everybody was really excited. You can cut the tension with a knife. We were all ready for it, and it was kind of like going to your wedding and you get a ticket, you get a speeding ticket on the way to your wedding. It's like, how was it? It was okay day. I guess we got married, so it's like It started out great, but let me tell you what. Let's not foreshadow. Let's get to you know how I do it. I start with Moto 3. I know you guys probably get sick of me talking about Moto 3, but I gotta tell you, Moto 3, the best racing on the planet. And Danny Kent finally got it done. It was like, really, Danny? It's like a couple that it goes out for like 10 years, and they're a good couple. And like, why don't you guys ever get married? And they go, well, why don't you guys ever get married? And they finally get married. You go, finally. That's what Danny Kent did. He finally did it, man. We knew it was coming. He had it, and I think he just got. And actually, Danny Kent's always been close to getting the championship, and something's always happened. So it's kind of like a boxer who's been knocked out, and then he's got his next fight, and he's like, And that's what Danny Kent was like the last 3 races. All he had to do was finish in the top 5 at Sepang, and he got 6th. So all he had to do was place in the top 14, and I'd be damned, he qualified, 18th? I'd be damned. And Miguel Oliveira, let me tell you something. Miguel Oliveira, he did what he had to do when it had to be done, and it still wasn't enough. But you got to give kudos to him. They're going to be teammates. So congratulations to Danny Kent. Like I said, he looks like a champion, acts like a champion, and he deserved that championship. He really did. He had a great first half of the season. The second half, once KTM got that new chassis, Miguel Oliveira was off and running. And God bless the guy, man. He did what he had to do when it had to get done. So congratulations to him. He did the damn thing. It just wasn't enough. Just what he did. He needed a couple more races in the beginning of the season, but hey, that's what happens. Moto 2, props to Tito Rabat, man. Tito came back from a broken arm, and he came back and he won. It was kind of like a stick it to you moment, like where Alex Rins, congrats to Alex Rins, though. We got runner-up. Congrats to him. Everybody was kind of like, kissing Alex Rins' ass, and Tito was, hey, what about me? I'm like a champion. I won it last year. And Tito kind of sent a little message to him in a way. So props to him. He was hurt, but he still came back and won. God bless Tito on the Moto 2. Moto 2, the race was just okay. It was okay. But we all know what we're here for. Moto GP, the grand finale. And let me tell you something. It took so long for me to put this post up because I listen to everything and I watch everything. I read you guys' comments on other posts, and it amazes me. It really does. The level of, I like a passion for certain riders. I think it's great, but sometimes it's like I said, it's like having a kid and you go, my kid's the greatest, and you go, really? Your kid's a piece of shit. I was here when he robbed that liquor store. Anyway, that's what it's like. I know everybody I love Valentino. I think he's great. I love Marc Marquez, but I think what happened is just, here's what happened. Let's talk about race per race. We know Valentino started from the very back of the pack. He got a little reprieve, a little bit, when Crutchlow had to start from the back also. So Rossi started from the not so back. Yeah, the not so back. So, he didn't have to pass Crutchlow, which Crutchlow was running really good at Valencia. But I think when Lorenzo turned the lap of the century, like he said, the best lap of his life, when he did that, and Marquez was running great the whole weekend, he almost beat Marquez by a half a second for qualifying. Marquez in qualifying is a beast. We all know that. But when Lorenzo beat him by almost half a second, you kind of knew it was over. I got that sinking feeling in my heart and just in my stomach, that knot in my stomach after I watched the Sepang, that same knot when a cop makes that U-turn when your license is suspended and gets right behind you. You go, oh. That's the way I felt. When Lorenzo hit that lap, I was like, oh. And Marquez couldn't keep up with him on qualifying. I kind of knew it was over. I really did. I tried to keep it safe pace, and I said Rossi was going to win the championship only because that's what I said in the beginning. Nobody likes a wishy-wash. So I had to pick Rossi. I had to stick with my guns, but I really felt in my heart. I said, I think Lorenzo's going to take off, and that's what he did. I thought the race was good, man. And, we talk about, I know Rossi bitched about Marquez protecting Lorenzo and this and that. First of all, Lorenzo and Marquez aren't exactly buddies. They're not exactly Facebook friends. You know what I mean? They're not exactly like this. So for him to say that, I know it's like the lesser of two evils. It's like, I don't like Lorenzo, but I'm going to stop you from winning a championship by helping your buddy. Personally, and this is me, I think it's a bunch of crap. I really do. And nobody mentions the fact, that when Rossi came to pass Petrucci looked back with, oh, Valley, hey, go ahead. He literally looked back, kind of like Rossi did Marquez in Sepang. He looked back, saw it was Rossi, and said, "Oh, Rossi, go ahead, buddy." And he went wide on purpose, just in case he came close to Rossi. That right there was the ultimate in friendship. Everybody said they weren't going to pull over. Well, he damn near parked his bike and read a book when Rossi came by. He really did. So, that was blatant. And let me tell you something, Petrucci and Divioso, Dovi really didn't race Rossi hard either. Rossi came up on him. It was a clean pass, but he didn't race him hard. Now, Espargo kind of raced him a little bit hard, and Rossi got really close to him. He didn't hit him like Nick Harris said, but he came really close to him. So this almost goes into the conspiracy theorist of the Spaniards versus the Italians in a way, because the Italians he passed pretty much let him through. Pirro, Petrucci, he's like a matador with the red flag. Like, there you go, and Rossi went through and like, grazie, and he went through. So it's almost like Spain versus Italy. I know Lorenzo kind of said, hey, they're both Spaniards and they want to see a Spaniard on the podium. But I really can't see those guys going against their team and going, hey, let's just help. I'm sorry, I'm at an airport right now. But it's hard for me to fathom, but that kind of feeds into the conspiracy theorists about the Spaniards versus the Italians. In a slight bit of a way, maybe. But I just thought it was funny how Petrucci just let Rossi go and then went wide on purpose just so there was no, what if. So I thought Rossi came through the pack. He couldn't do anything more. And the thing about it is, you guys can bitch and moan all about Rossi got a raw deal, which he didn't. It's hard for me to say that. I got to be objective. So, yeah, I got to be objective. Rossi didn't get a raw deal. He got the penalty he deserved for doing what he did. And he came through the pack. He did a great job of coming through the pack. He cut through the pack, did a great job. But Lorenzo took off, and Rossi didn't have the pace from the get-go, from the weekend. He didn't have the pace. Even if he would have qualified on the second row, I kind of doubt he could have ran with those guys. He finished 20 seconds behind him. I just don't think he had the pace to stay with Lorenzo. Now, people are saying that Marquez never made one pass at Lorenzo. Marquez was struggling from the get-go. When he got close, I was thinking to myself when I was watching the race, he's doing just like he did in Indianapolis. He's going to wait and then pounce. But then Danny came. Danny had to screw it all up, basically. And then Danny went wide, and he came in. By then, Lorenzo took off, and he had a big enough advantage. And Marquez didn't want to do anything risky by that, which is one of the few things that's almost like, I can almost see a conspiracy theorist going, okay, Marquez didn't make one of those, last-ditch efforts to dive up beside him, but at the same time, Marquez is not exactly stupid. He's aggressive. He wants to win, but he knew a championship was at stake. So it was like, I can't do this cleanly, and I can't say he let Lorenzo win, but that whole race had a weird kind of like a dark cloud over a whole weekend. It's kind of like having a picnic, and there's that one dark cloud. It looks like rain, and maybe it sprinkles, but it doesn't really ruin your picnic, but it's like just enough to go, and that's what it was like. And I just thought they did Jorge a disservice and Marquez a disservice, especially Rossi. When Rossi threw that in at the very end, that was poor sportsmanship. You can call it what you like. That's poor, and he didn't show up for the award ceremony. Listen, we all know he's the ambassador to the sport. He's the one that we all love him. He's funny. He's great. Plus, he's older. Anybody older than the age of 30 always wants the older guy to beat the younger guy. We all do. It's like, you just want him to win because Marquez has all the cartilage in his knees. He has all the cartilage in his body. And when you get older, all that dissipates. So you kind of want the older guy to win because he's taking like glucosamine for his knees. So you kind of want him to win anyway just because he's older. And I love Rossi, but I just thought he was wrong in this situation. All he did was bitch and moan about Marquez. Instead of going, hey, congratulations to Jorge, he didn't do that. He didn't shake Jorge's hand. At least I didn't see it. I just thought it was poor sportsmanship. Then he didn't show up for the awards banquet. Show some class, man. Really, show some class. And then he kind of like, for the cameras, when Carmen I can't get his last name. When he came in and said, "We'll talk about it in my motorhome," that was kind of like showing like, "Hey, I'm the shit. So you come see me instead of me coming see you." And it just had that kind of, I didn't like that at all. I mean, be gracious in defeat. Say it behind the scenes. Say it to your boys, but don't say Marquez is ruining racing. I can't believe what he did and this and that. It just kind of ruined it for me. I mean, Rossi saying that, it kind of ruined it for me. And I lost a little bit of respect for him. You can say what you want about Marquez. He races the same all the time. And if you're going to bitch about it, hey, bitch him on about Iannone taking 3 points from you in Australia. So you would have still lost by 1 point. So anyway, I thought it was God bless Lorenzo. You guys can say what you want about Lorenzo. But the guy's one of the fastest guys on the planet. He'll be in the Hall of Fame for MotoGP, and we're not going to appreciate him until he's gone and retired. He runs a hard pace. The hammer, they don't call him the hammer for nothing. Great mental. I mean, Marquez was on his ass. Pedrosa was on his ass. He just kept grinding the laps out. If you saw his times like I did, then you can't tell me that. I mean, Lorenzo ran at 131. He didn't differentiate between half a second. That was incredible for 30 laps. Anyway, he didn't get the credit he deserved. My plane's about to take off. This went on way too long, but listen, I'm gonna do an end of the race. I'm gonna do a race report, my award ceremony, do the award ceremony, and hopefully make it fun for you guys. And I know people are pissed off at me, but that's just my opinion. Like I said, I still love Rossi. I just lost respect for him. I thought he act like a champion, be a champion. That's pretty much it. Marquez, say what you want about him. He's still the straw that stirs the drink. He and Rossi are still the straw that stirs the drink. Say what you want about him. Next year, everybody's on the same electronics. So it's all going to be even. Right? I still think Honda's going to find a way the big factory's going to find a way to get around that. But anyway, it's going to be great. New tires, the same electronics. We're going to see about next year, man. It should be great. So hopefully I will give you a new video Wednesday, maybe Wednesday or Thursday. I'm going to be out of the country, so Wednesday or Thursday maybe. So yeah, I thought it was a good race. I think we all were a little disappointed that Rossi didn't win. I mean, we really were. Jorge deserved it. You say what you want, but he did what he had to do. And he did deserve it. He did deserve the championship. I just kind of wanted Rossi to win, and then he ruined it by saying those comments. So it's like, oh man. Then he didn't show up for the awards ceremony. So it was like, So it was an okay race. I give the race an A minus. I give the race an A minus, and everything after that, the booing of Marquez on the podium. Lorenzo with that weird kind of running off the podium, and then he ran back on. Then he didn't really spray the champagne. It was just a weird vibe, man. So, it's kind of like sitting on a toilet seat. It's already warm. You're like, So, anyway, that's my race report. Thank you guys for waiting. Thank you for listening. It's been a great year. I've had a great time. I'm glad you guys watched the videos, whether you liked them or not. Thanks for watching. Really appreciate that. Like I said, I got to catch my plane. Like I said, I'll come up with an award ceremony, my own awards, and we'll do it and have fun with it. Okay, so thank you guys for listening. Have a good day. Bye.